morning. It's Monday. Me and Mikey in the yard, eh? Backbones on a frickin' pub. Oh, it's not public holiday today. Hey,
yeah, but it's not today. But where's the boys?
Bro, yeah, they've got the day off, eh? What the heck? Anyway, we're sitting in the office. Just started fucking writing up a spreadsheet of all my costings for the business expenses, and also personal. Now I do this every year in my diary, but I thought I started to move over to spreadsheets, and I'm figuring it out slowly. But I think it's a really good idea to just make sure you've got a cost analysis of how much is actually going through the business and what's, you know, vehicle expenses, all that sort of shit. So I'm running through that at the moment. But today's missions is we're going to go look at a job with Miles, just a little ding dong one for the week, and then I've got a meeting with a mortgage broker, which I'll talk to you about in the car on the way, why I'm doing that, and then maybe potentially look at another job after that. So bit of an office day, and just getting things sorted. What are we going to do, Mikey? We're going to look into adjustments for Reels, for other platforms. That's our main one this week. Yeah, and then TikTok, obviously. Fuck Facebook, because we're young and handsome, I guess. But that's the mission. Mike's going to upload all that shit. And yeah, I'm just going to continue doing this for a few hours, and then we might even send the drone up for the first time.
Yo.
Yeah, Mikey, you're going to do it, so you can crash it and have to pay for it. Insurance or what? Hey, it's David here. Sorry I missed your call, mate.
No, that's right. Hey.
I'll get back to you on that as well.
Just get back to me before I revise it. So yeah, sweet.
Yeah, okay, sweet. Awesome.
Okay,
alright, pretty much. Cheers.
Yeah, bye.
Alrighty. So the reason I'm meeting with this mortgage broker is I just want to frickin' get my head around the market, the property market, just seeing where it's going at the moment. We've just had a change of government in New Zealand, so there's this thing called bright line tax. So if you buy a property, renovate it and sell it within 5 years or something like that, you got to pay tax on that. So I think that's changing with the new government. Just want to see what's going on with that, and whether if we do buy an investment property or invest something, if we have to pay, if we can claim back the GST, I mean the interest rates, just little bits and pieces like that, and just get a better understanding on what's going on, and whether it's, I mean, it's always a good time to invest. There's no bad time, but yeah, just having a look, and getting a feel for all that sort of shit, and yeah, better understanding and making connections, you know, always trying to create new connections with that side of things, if that makes sense. Okay, that went really well. Well, not really. Fucking bright line tax is still in there. Just discuss different ways around that, whether or not you got to hold it for 5 years, but it's pretty much easier just to buy a property, do it up and flick it, pay the tax, and you know, 50% or whatever it is, and then move on, keep the profit. So that's pretty much the overall arch of the conversation. So yeah, also talked about creating trusts and all that sort of stuff. Keep the money away from the girlfriends. But yeah, it was fucking good chat, got me amped up, man. That sort of shit fucking fires me up thinking about all that stuff. So good to get a little bit of motivation for this year. Fucking create some fucking generational wealth, eh? We'll try. Right, let's go fucking fly a drone. Bro, battery's gonna die before this fucking updates. Green. Tuesday, baby! Yeah, buddy, just done some shopping. It's been a little bit random, but I needed to get an extra large microfiber towel because I'm going for a frickin' 3-day walk around Abel Tasman tomorrow. I'm off for the rest of the week, eh? 1 month in and I'm having a massive holiday. What the heck? That was a bit random, but anyway, I've dropped my hard lid, or it's not hard lid, canopy off at the panel beaters to spray it up because it's not the same colour as my ute. It's one of my friends doing it. She actually won Apprentice of the Year for panel beating, so the equivalent of our BCADO one. So she is the best in the business. I'm just going to wait for that to be done, put it back on the trailer, head to the yard, get all my spreadsheets sorted. Spreadsheets, eh? I'm just spreadsheeting now instead of writing things down on pen and paper. Just getting my head around all that because it's actually super easy. Because once you've got a spreadsheet, it's there forever and you can just adjust it however you want. So yeah, just materials ordered, jobs sorted for the boys, for all 4 of the boys. But yeah, we'll see you back at the yard. Flash banger, hey? Now just got to get rid of the dent. Alright, so to wrap this video up, because I'm going away for 3 days, we thought we'd do a couple of questions about how I started my apprenticeship, eh? This is interview style. So pretty much, my granddad had a friend that was at the bowls club, and that was my contact into my first building job. Really, pretty easy. I didn't really have to do any calling around. So I went and had an interview with him, and straight into building frickin' chicken sheds, big commercial chicken sheds up South End. I pretty much started building so I could get an apprenticeship, but they didn't want to offer me one because I wasn't ready to start an apprenticeship yet. That doesn't really make any sense because the reason you start building is to start to do an apprenticeship, right? When are you ready? So after a year of frickin' doing massive chicken sheds, good experience, but it just wasn't for me. So I got a hold of a few builders in the area that were well known for like nice jobs, well, doing nice work, new builds and stuff. So yeah, so pretty much none of them took the bait. They were all full up. They didn't need any more apprentices. But one guy that I had an interview with, one of his old apprentices, now obviously doing his own thing, needed a new worker. So I went and had an interview with him, and it was pretty much right as rain from there. Signed me up straight away. Finished my apprenticeship in like 3 years, because yeah, I love building, so it was pretty easy for me. Pretty much signed all the practical bookwork side of it off in the first year, and then had to get my practical units signed off. But it was good. My apprenticeship was really good because it was just me, my boss, and then one other qualified guy. So we had a real close team and sort of quite a lot of one-on-one training, which went a long way to, you know, make me the builder I am today. Just taught me good values on how to build properly, and make sure that you're doing your job right. But yeah, that was pretty much I stuck with him for like 8 years, and then I decided to make the leap of faith and go out on my own. That was probably one of the hardest decisions. Well, I mean, it is the hardest decision because there's so many unknowns. So yeah, where am I going to find work? Is there going to be enough work? It's just freaky, you know, doing it yourself, like going out on your own. But you just got to bite the bullet and do it. So I had a few small jobs lined up, like decks, bathrooms. You know, I just pretty much hired an apprentice straight away to help me out. That was like 2-3 months of doing that, and then I went and got a labour-only contract for a high-end building company to do a reclad, and we sat on that for, I don't know, 5 months. The money was pretty average because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't negotiate a price or anything like that. I think I worked it out. I ended up getting paid $38 an hour. So yeah, it was it was a good learning curve. It was you know, when you're doing a labour on a contract, they plonk this big number in front of you, and when you've been working, you know, just an hourly rate, and then you see this big number, you're like, fuck. I think it was like $57,000 or something like that. I was like, fuck yeah, bro, sign me up. Because you just don't know, you really don't understand, how much work's involved. Like I'd done run small jobs, but nothing like this. So just threw myself in the deep end, and and then I managed to just get jobs via word of mouth, and from there we've started to grow pretty gradually, I guess. End of last year was probably like the biggest we got, with all our subbies coming, contractors coming in to help us out. It was, we're back down to 14 members, but it's really good. We've got a tight-knit community, good vibes going on, really good employees. They get paid too much, obviously. It's pretty much my story, and now I'm just learning the ropes of sort of project management, also being a builder, pricing, just getting everything sorted. But yeah, one thing I would have liked to have done since I even before I went out on my own, is actually keep a costing spreadsheet of jobs and how much they cost versus how much I quoted them for, and just keep a diary on all the jobs and how much they were worth, so I could sort of refer back to it. Like, I have a pretty good understanding on what jobs cost now, just in the back of my head, which is really good when someone comes to me and says, how much is it going to cost? I'm like, oh, around that much. But yeah, I wish I'd done that way back in the day, because I'd be way further along with knowing how to price properly. It's still just a big learning curve. Obviously you want to keep that to the professionals. Time management was a big one. Always showing up on time, early even. Always showing up pretty early before the boss, making sure the tools were set up and just ready to go for the day. This took me years to figure out, but thinking about what we're going to do for the day, and then asking the boss, saying, hey, would you like me to do this? Say we're doing a bathroom renovation, and we've ripped everything out and we're going to be jibbing that day, so pretty much get the tools out for that. Say, hey, look, do you want me cutting the jib, measuring it, what do you want me screwing? Just thinking ahead on that side of things. So it's a good trait to have, just always thinking ahead, thinking about your next task. But also just having knowing when to shut your mouth too. And listen to the boss, because I was pretty cheeky. Always used to get a beat down, big cuddle and a cheek noogie or two, twist of the ear. But that's all fun and games. That's the best part about being an apprentice, getting bullied pretty much. In terms of tools, if your boss is good, he'll let you buy tools and pay them back $40 a week for years and years.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice. He'll buy you new work boots, but then your apprentice gets the wrong size and doesn't wear them. Shut up, Chrissy! Well, obviously you can't expect too much. You're literally just there to work, and you just absorb as much knowledge as possible, but it's all green. Like, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, I think the first thing would be to get your hand tools, obviously your apron, hand tools, and just start figuring out like framing members, like 4x2, 6x2, different types of screws you can use, just the small basic bits and pieces, and just get a better understanding on how to use stuff. Like, these days these boys hardly use skill saws, and my boss was an advocate of always, why are you getting the rip saw to like do one cut? Like, use the skill saw, get your eye, and then just get it. Like, even ripping timber, making sure that you just got a really good knack for using your tools, which is super important. But yeah, obviously once you've got your hand tools, you want your drills, your rattler, your skilly, and then just go up from there. You can buy a freaking one of those. They have pretty good deals on kits these days, eh? Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but yeah, and then just build up. Get your nail gun, your pin gun. Those are pretty much just basic tools. Well, not basic, but your solid foundation tools that you need to do any job, which is pretty important. especially if you want to be doing little cashies in the weekend. Once you're in your second or third year, start to do decks and stuff. I really push that sort of stuff. It's a good one actually. I would say I know I was pretty good at this. Was keeping up with the booklet side of things. I know when you first start apprenticeship, you're like, just not that important, but it sort of is, because you need it to finish your apprenticeship. So I just looked at it like, the sooner I get this smashed out, the sooner I don't have to think about it. But I know there's a lot of people out there that quite slow on it, and the issue is you got to do it on your own terms. Like, there's no scheduling for you. I mean, your instructor comes out every 3 months or so to give you an assessment, but it's all on your own back to do all that sort of stuff. You might think the boss should push you a little bit, but really at the end of the day, it's your apprenticeship, and you're the one paying all the fees and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, just give it a whack, eh? Just jump straight into it. Like, you don't. If you're still young. If you're doing an apprenticeship, you're still young. 15, 16, 17. There's no harm in trying it, eh? Get out there and, like, you know, you might not like it. Fuck, you might want to be a Sparky. Who wants to be one of those though? Hey. Nah. You know, you might see another sub-trade on site, but oh, that's cool, far out, I'm keen as to be a scaffolder. But you know what I mean, and it might not be for you, might jump over to something else. You could just, you know, there's plenty of opportunities to try it, but I looked at it like, you know, I've always loved building, so I was pretty lucky in that aspect that I knew that I was going to be a chippy, and just stuck with it. And that's why, you know, if you stick with something, you can, for long enough, it becomes successful. Fuck, the backbone of New Zealand society, gee. I haven't really got a 10-year plan. Like, in the ideal world, it would be pretty cool to have, you know, a group of, say, 8 to 10 lads, potentially on 2 jobs or even just one big job, and we don't have to have a client, we just buy a piece of land, build a fucking mean house with like cool details using different products, trying out cool different techniques, and just sort of having a good camaraderie in that aspect. Continue to sort of build on the content side of things slowly over time, and hopefully that sort of takes off and we can actually get into that sort of market, you know, because it's a shit fight out here. Like, you're battling against hundreds of, even thousands of different building companies building different homes all across just in Auckland. So if we could potentially just skip the middleman, so you think I'm the boss, but really the client that we're working for is the one is the boss that we look at. So if we can skip him and then just start building our own little cool things, then that would be fucking mean. Have the freedom to do what we want when we want. But for now, just head down, ass up, work tirelessly until something happens, eh? How did I go about funding my crew? Well, Dave, I put an ad out on Trade Me. Trade Me? Was it Trade Me? So Dave came through that, and so did Mikey actually, after his 40th interview, because no one wanted you fucking illegal immigrant. Still paying him under the table.
Holy no!
Miles is an old friend, long friend of mine, so he just came back from travelling and wanted to jump on board, so he's fucking awesome chippy to have on board too. He's Chrissy, again, Chrissy, shout out Chrissy for giving a good whack. She did a post on Instagram, I think, and she was like, hey, I'm not happy with my job, so is there any building jobs going? And I was like, oh, bit risky taking on a female, but she was wonderful. She always put a fucking 110% in. She was really good at the apprenticeship side of things. And just building in general, always wanting to learn, taking photos, which was really good. Helps you remember stuff, that sort of thing. So. And then Fabiano, fuck, Fucking another Tongan import. Fuck, bro, I hate that Tongan.
That guy's a handout.
He's a handout. Nah, so Fabian actually was giving us a hand when we were under the pump last year. We were pretty full on, and it's Dave's son. It's actually Dave's son. So he was just sitting at home doing nothing, and I was like, "Oh, do you know anyone that can give us a hand?" And he was like, "Yeah, my son." So he started helping us out, you know, every couple of weeks, and he's got a freaking awesome personality, and he's really good to get along with. So he creates a good vibe. So that's what I'm all about, you know. Even if my apprentices are dumbass, they're good vibes. But that's what it's all about, though, you know. Otherwise, it'd be shit as if we had a fucking, you know, it would just be gay as
and boring.
Yeah, lame as. Can't take a joke. Well, I was planning on going for like a romantic walk along the beach.
With who?
I have no comment on that. Fuck you. Alright, well, thanks for tuning in this week's video, week 33, and we'll see you next week for another bit of a ding-dongy week, but that's alright. We always make it work. Be a lot of good information, and yeah. Peace! Oh, dude!